It's gonna be good, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be better, I can't wait. Making my move, live for the day, sing like a bird, fly like a plane. Come spill with me, Jenny D.
Thank you so much for joining me with another episode of Spill With Me, Jenny D. I'm so excited to have my guest here, but before I introduce her, I wanted to let you know that I want to thank my April Spotlight supporters this month. I have Wijdan, who is the owner of Aladdin in McMurray. She's also the owner of Eadie's Catering and Marketplace downtown. And I also have Dion Malish, who is the co-owner of the Realty One Group Standard, Gold Standard. Thank you so much, Dion. So I am just so excited. So I am so excited. I have my guest here. This is Jackie Danko. Jackie and I met a few weeks ago, and we had so much fun. We were at Sydney's event.
Yes, we were.
And she's doing these connectors for good, and it was so nice to meet new people.
Yes.
And when she had us doing kind of like a speed
networking.
Yeah, networking. Yes.
Speed.
I was gonna say
speed
dating.
Speed dating with
speed meeting.
Yes.
And so when I came across, and sat at your table, and Jackie has such an interesting story, and what she's doing for what's coming on for Pittsburgh this week with the NFL draft coming here, and we're just so excited. Our city's going to be booming. We're excited for this. Jackie, tell us who you are and where you're from. Give us a little background about you.
So I'm a native of Pittsburgh. I'm happy to say that. I just really love our city so much. And
where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Plum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I went to high school there. I did do 1 year at Duquesne University as a music education major. I ended up transferring to Miami at University of Miami.
Wow.
And thinking I would just, continue on with the same degree. But when I went down there, everybody was like really, really into performance or music industry, which is what I ended up going into, or engineering, things like that. So the music ed department was really small, and so I ended up, like I said, transferring to music industry. I do quite remember my parents saying, well, what are you going to do with that degree? I said, I'll figure it out. I don't know. But basically I had to go to the business school and the music school, to get my degree. Yeah. So
what did you want to do? Like, what was your goal?
I was always a person of faith, and I always thought, I'll figure it out as I go. I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yes.
It
is kind of hard.
And it took many, many years for me to get to where I am today. After I graduated, and I really took a lot of twists and turns after I graduated. But ultimately, I did teach for a couple decades music.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
like
I did.
Piano or singing?
Yeah, I taught in private Christian schools for a long time.
Wow.
I taught the Seton Hill. They had a community program.
Yeah,
and
like musical theater? Or?
Not musical theater. I actually am a clarinet player.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I play the clarinet, and so when I was at these different schools, I actually did the whole entire music program. So I would teach all the band instruments. I would teach piano. I would go from K through 12, and then have a band. So I did that for a long time. Before that, I was in sales. I sold payroll systems with ADP. I sold copiers with Minolta. Just things that
you're like,
just different things. But
that wasn't your passion.
It wasn't definitely not my passion. But when I look back at all the different things that I did, it all helped me to do what I'm doing today. And that is having my own business. So I had to learn how to sell. I had to learn, how to, be good with my money. So all those other jobs that I had, they
It's
really
true.
were.
It's like full circle. Like you don't
was.
know until you get into it. Like you have to know all aspects of a business, especially when you own something.
That's right.
And so when did this come about, this business?
So this is where the story gets interesting, in my opinion, because I raised 3 beautiful children. They're now 3 adults. Wonderful
I have
adults.
3 children too.
Do you?
Yeah.
And
Do you girls, boys?
I have a boy, girl, boy.
Okay, I'm girl, boy, boy.
Ooh, yes.
Yours is in the middle, yeah.
And I came upon a really hard patch of my life, and I had to make a decision, and it was excruciating. And during that time period, I was stuck. And the decision was, can I live on my own, or should I stay where I'm at in an unhappy situation?
Right.
So, it's not like I didn't try to make things work.
Right.
I tried, but it just wasn't seeming to work, And after 22 years, I finally made a decision. And I would like to just shout that from the rooftops that, we are strong as women. We don't know it though, until we have to be.
Right.
And it was when I made the decision that I stopped crying. Before that, the tears were constant.
It's the unknown.
It was the unknown.
Yeah.
It was like, how am I ever going to support myself?
Right.
Where am I going to live? Yeah, I didn't know what I was going to do.
Right.
I didn't know anything, and it just got me stuck.
Right.
I was in my bed. I couldn't get out of my bed. Of course, I had to go to work, and I'd be crying at work.
Right.
I mean, it was really hard, and that was a good long time period.
It's
I'd
almost
say
like a lesson that we learn as women. Yeah, it's so different. Like I feel like mine was during COVID. I lost myself.
Oh,
I was so depressed.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who you are.
Right.
Because I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband traveled, but my kids they didn't need me as much anymore.
Sure.
So I kind of felt like I had 2 in college and 1 was going into high school, and I thought, what is my role? Did you feel like that? Like you felt like your identity was kind of like, who am I?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that we all, as women, sometimes feel like that, especially if we're married for a long time and you're floating a little bit, and you're not really, at least for me, like I feel like what I'm doing now, a lot of women, they do, and when they graduate college, they find their niche,
passion,
they find their passion, they start to do whatever it is that they do. Well, for me, what I really wanted to do was raise my kids.
Yeah.
So when I say I taught for decades, I didn't teach in a public school because I didn't have that education degree,
Right.
because I had that industry degree instead. So I had to, but what my teaching and what that situation all allowed me to do was be there for my kids,
Right.
and they were my priority.
Yes.
So that was, looking back, I'm grateful.
Right. And I feel like too, like, being a stay-at-home mom and just working part-time here and there, I don't have any regrets. Do you feel that way
I
too?
do.
Because I got to be there for all their games in the school,
Yes, yes.
things. And I just felt
Right.
like so blessed to be
Right.
there, and I think they see that. And when they become parents, I feel like they're going to look at us and go, wow,
Yeah.
my mom is so strong.
Yeah.
That-
Well, I hope so.
Yes.
None of my kids have kids yet.
Me neither. no thanks.
Right. Oh boy. Yeah.
So you made that leap, and I'm sure I know because we've talked to other women. I've talked to so many other women who are entrepreneurs after like 40.
Right.
It's
I started at 48.
Yes.
That's when I started my
I
business.
was 49 when I started this,
Yeah.
or maybe I was 48. Oh my gosh! Now it's
So
wait, was that COVID?
No.
Okay, yours was before.
Because my business is almost 12 years old now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is like a 12-year period, and so I didn't know what I was gonna do. It wasn't like, oh, I've always wanted to make a business. I didn't know that. I always wanted to do an entertainment company. I didn't really have that desire. I didn't know. I just literally, day by day, I kind of fell into what I am doing. I learned it. I was completely green in everything that I was doing. So I made lots of mistakes, but then I learned to correct those mistakes. And it is exciting. I always tell people now, you don't want to be starting something new and be successful at it right away. Well, you can't be anyways. It's not something that happens. But you want to cherish the time that it takes to get from here to here. To grow.
Yes.
Right.
I get that.
Right. Yeah. So like you look back and you go, wow, I went through all of that to get to where I'm at today, which I'm so happy to say that I'm happy and I'm healthy and I love what I do. I love every single day. I love being here with you today.
I am so excited because when I met you, Jackie, I could just tell, like, in your eyes, you had this passion about you in life. Yeah. And if there's any other women out there listening or men that don't think that they can pursue their passion, look at us too. Just go for it. You have nothing to lose. It doesn't matter how old you are. I always stress that.
Right.
About that.
Well, I want to give an example of how I took a leap and it worked. Right. And I hopefully can encourage other people who are stuck. So I had girlfriends at the time and they were worried about me. And I was living in my home and we were having a hard time selling this home. And I couldn't move until I did because I was responsible to pay for half of that mortgage.
Right.
So my girlfriend said that they really thought I should be looking for a place. Even though, I felt like, how can I do that? I'm not ready to do that. Right. But they encouraged me to at least, put some feelers out, which I did. I ended up going onto Craigslist, which I don't really use Craigslist, but that's what I put this. I put a message on there saying, this is my situation and this is my time frame, what I'm looking for. And basically that's all I did. And that was probably in the summertime of, I don't know what month. And it was about October time whenever I got a call from that ad. And there was a woman who said, are you still looking for somewhere to live? And I said, well, sort of, because it took us 6 months to sell our house. Right. It took us a long time. Yeah. I said, sort of. I said, well, I'm waiting kind of to sell my house before I actually am serious about looking. I said, I'm kind of surprised that it's taking us so long, but yeah, I still will need someone. She says, well, I just want you to come and see what I have here. She said, I'm going to lease it for the time frame that you want, that you're looking for, and I think it could be perfect for you. And so I went and I looked and oh my gosh. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I thought I might be in a cardboard box. That's where I was envisioning. That's why I couldn't get out of my bed. I'm like, crying. And then it is. And then I go see this house and it was cute and it was in perfect shape and it was just it would have been a dream if I would have gotten that house. And she said to me, I need to know within 24 hours. And I'm like, what? I can't give you an answer because how can I possibly, that's really, really taking a step there. So I said, well, just give me, I'll let you know. I ended up talking to some trusted people that I trust. I prayed, of course, slept on it, woke up, and I'm like, you know what? I can't let that go. Right. So I called her and I said, I'm going to take it. I'm going to do it. And
it's such a feeling.
I know, but I mean, it was really scary because I didn't know when my house was going to sell. I ended up the very day, and this is what I want to stress, the very day that I was moving, and I had an army of people helping me move, friends. The very day is the day my house sold. The very day.
Isn't that the weirdest thing?
And I just felt that was God giving me a little kiss on the cheek, saying, you don't worry. Don't worry about anything. I got your back and things are going to be fine. Yes. That was like, and I felt like I kept doing that. I kept on, okay, well, how's that ever going to work? I don't have this, that, or the other, but I would take the step anyways, and then that door would open. Yes. And that's just what kept on happening. So
I love that.
Now that is what my life is. I try to find opportunities. That are scary for me. Right. That, how could I do that? Or whatever it is, something that, I'm uncomfortable, and do it anyways. And then my life, or what, there's something that good comes out of that.
I feel like everything happens for a reason. Yeah. You took a risk on you.
Yes.
And I had a lot of naysayers too, like, how are you going to make money? And, how are you going to get guests and who's going to listen and
Right.
stuff like that. And I had a lot of naysayers, and I
Yeah.
questioned myself, can I do this? I'm not like technically, I went on YouTube and
Right.
learned how to do
That's
it.
amazing.
I mean, that's the only way. And I'm like, I am not the best on social media, but I try. And you know what? I love, because I meet people like you that have a story.
Right.
And and when I hear your story, it's like, this is your journey, and this is how you
Right.
came into
Yeah.
what you've come into. So when you were living on your own, you were like, okay, I'm going to start a business.
Actually, I started that business before I left.
Oh, did you? Okay,
I did.
nice.
But I do want to say there was a naysayer, someone I trusted very, very much. And I remember saying, this is what I was thinking about doing. And basically what I do is I have clients who will call me. They'll say, hey, I have this event. I need a piano player, or I need a magician, or I want a face painter, or I need a band, or a DJ, or a photo booth. So this is what
You book the
I do now. I
entertainment,
book the
yes.
entertainment, but and then I find it, I secure it, I do all the legwork for them.
Oh, that's the perfect.
Right. So that's what my business is today. But I had someone that I really trusted, and I this was before I started the business, and I said, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and what do you think? And literally he did say, well, who's gonna need that? Why would people need that? All they have to do is go on the internet and get it
Oh
themselves.
my gosh.
And if I would have listened,
I know.
if I would have listened to one person, and they say, no, that's not gonna work. Ah.
That's, I always say, like, there's always like a voice, you always have that like angel over here that just telling you, like, don't do it. This person saying, do it.
Yeah.
You got to listen and follow your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you look at you did it.
I
So,
did.
okay. So it's called Sound Advice Entertainment.
Sound Advice Entertainment.
How did you come up with that name?
My ex-husband.
Well, that's a good name. It's a good name.
It is a good name.
I love it.
Yes.
So it's entertainment. So like at corporate events, ceremonies, banquets,
anything. Absolutely anything. And do you want me to give the story of how
Give
I
us,
came into it?
give us a story.
So this is before I left my house.
Yeah.
I ended up deciding to play music again because I was teaching, say for 20 years. I think it was 22 years that I was teaching, something like that. Maybe, whatever. And where I was teaching was at a private school, and probably as well as I know, and everybody knows that sometimes things happen at private schools, and I was at a school that had consistently like almost 200 kids for 30 years.
Right.
And there was something that happened that made it go that most of the students didn't come back, and they had maybe 50 kids the next year.
I went to a private Catholic all-girls school in Castle Shannon, and it closed down when I graduated. So I know what you mean when you talk about private schools.
Right.
Yes.
So, but I've always been a loyal person, and where the other most of the people went, they wanted me to come, and I'm like, no, this is my loyalty here. But I kind of, you don't think, well, at least I didn't think, I should have thought. I was old enough to know, right? Have brains, but I kind of cut my own throat because I didn't have the pool of kids to then have students,
Right.
and then the band, it was just really, really, like, I can see the writing on the wall. This isn't going to last for me too much longer.
Right.
So because of that, I ended up deciding to play in a community band. And oh my goodness, I can't even tell you.
And you played the clarinet.
I did. So I played the clarinet, from 4th grade through college.
Oh, wow.
Then I didn't play for 9 years. That's when I had my ADP and selling copiers.
Plus you were
That was
raising
9
kids.
years. And then I started teaching, but at that time, teaching music and playing music are two totally different things.
Yes.
Okay. So here I am, years and years and years later, starting to be in a band again. And my soul just completely bursted open. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot.
You were needing that.
I forgot what music did for me.
Oh,
It was just, a revelation,
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
When you feel, because it was your passion that you loved
Yes.
so much, but you didn't
Yeah.
think it was going to be still there. Like, how would you
Right.
get involved in that?
Yeah. So, and then you meet people of like mind. Okay. So that started with a community band. Then I'm getting crazy and I think I'm going to join this band and I'm going to do this. So I started doing lots of different things.
Yeah.
Well, one of the places that I was in, and that was Seton Hill, they had a community band, sort of, if you want to call it that. It was called Westmoreland Symphonic Winds.
Ooh.
And so they had people from their college who they were in it, but they didn't have enough people in the college and the music school to fill it out. So they invited people like myself who, played all their lives in the community. And so the interesting thing about that is I actually sat next to my high school band director in that. So that was fun, reconnecting to him.
We're back.
Yeah. But during that time period, I met a woman, and we ended up, before that rehearsal every Monday night, we would go to the practice room below, underneath on the floor one, and we would be in there just playing duets. And that was so much fun. We just loved it. We loved it so much. And I remember saying this distinctly. I said, you know what, Janet, we are too good to be in these four little small walls. We need to find an audience.
Yes.
And so here's where my sales background kicks in, but I just start to make phone calls. And actually, before I even say about the phone calls, there was an angel in my story, because I can't remember why I met this woman. I don't remember this woman's name. I remember going to a coffee shop in Squirrel Hill, of all places, which I never go to. So, I don't remember details. All I remember is that woman had to have been an angel put in my path, because she's the one who told me. And I remember being at this coffee shop crying. And so it was at that point where I didn't know what I was doing, Yeah. And she says, why don't you call retirement communities? And they're always looking for entertainment, for their residents.
Yes.
And they're a forgiving audience,
I didn't even think of that.
I never would have thought of that. Never in a million years would I have thought of that. So that's why I'm saying God put this person in my life. And that's what I did. I got on the phone. I started calling all these places. And if you don't, it's just like a red car. You buy a red car, you see red cars everywhere.
Right.
Okay. So here I am looking for retirement communities. They're everywhere. If you don't know it, it's true.
Yes.
Especially in Pittsburgh and all the surrounding communities, we have a really high population of retirement communities.
Yeah. People don't leave, which is a good thing.
Yeah. And so we started getting busy. I remember saying, Jan, I got another one. And so we started going out there and we started entertaining. So that was my first little taste of entertaining. And that was probably 14 years ago. So my business. So that wasn't my business, but what it did show me was that there was a constant need for entertainment at these places, and these people had budgets. Yes. So there was money involved.
Right.
Okay. So when I decided to start this company, what I did is I called all of the people who hired me, and I said, listen, I'm wondering if you would be interested in hiring me to hire people you don't know to come and entertain. Because remember, I was in different groups.
Right.
I had these contacts now. I knew that none of them had any idea.
And how would they find them?
Yeah, I knew none of them would have any idea about
this. You're doing all the legwork.
Right, right. So I actually literally started with 10 musicians. That's what I started with. Today, this is 12 years later, I have over 3,500 acts in my system.
Whoa. I thought you were going to say 35. 3,500.
And that is just because of the requests that I keep getting from clients. So like year one, hey, you're already getting all these different musical entertainers from me, but I'm having a carnival, and can you please get me a magician, and can you get me a face painter and a caricature artist? And of course I didn't have them. So I would go out and I'd find them. Okay. Yeah. And I've never stopped doing that to this day.
Right.
And to this,
so you would contract them out.
Yeah, I would contract them out.
Yes, okay.
So,
and it would be under Sound
Advice Entertainment. Yes. Okay. So it's amazing because my life, when I look at pre-business,
Right.
pre-Sound Advice Entertainment, and today my life has just opened up, exponentially, because back in the day, whenever I was raising my kids or whatever, I'd go to a school, I'd see the same people every week and come home, I'd be with my family. I mean, so I went to church.
It was like Groundhog
Yeah,
Day.
I did my,
Yes.
whatever you do,
Right. Did our duties of like being a mom and a
Yeah,
caregiver.
I mean, I had a few friends,
Right.
but that was about it.
Yes.
Now
It was so different then. I
my
felt like
goodness.
we were in the generation of like, you get married, you have kids, you stay home. It wasn't like
Yeah.
now, like you were saying, like
Right.
my daughter's 25
Yeah.
and she's in New York living her life. She's in musical
Nice.
theater. And it was funny when
Nice.
you were talking about music, I remember we were all talking about this at Sydney's event, that we all love to sing. Like I was a theater minor and I was in the choir.
Okay.
I know it's a choir.
I'm gonna
That's
start
a
hiring.
That's a
Jenny
bit. Oh
D.
God, I'm like, it sound like I smoked like 10 packs of cigarettes. My voice is shot. It's like an instrument. You have to
Right.
use it. You have to be.
absolutely do.
But I sang at like family weddings, and I
Nice.
enjoyed, like you said, when you sing. I don't know if anybody out there is listening to this loves to sing. Even if you can't sing, just singing to me is just.
Yes.
I sing in the car by myself. It's just letting that out. Did you sing too, or do you mostly do musical?
Well, okay, so
Instruments.
now I do sing,
Yeah.
and I have taken voice lessons from various people.
Yes.
And
Isn't it
I
wonderful?
can't say that, I'm not a like an American Idol singer type, that's like belted out.
She's gonna be on The Voice now.
Yeah.
So you're gonna-
But I can say that people tell me, that they wow, you're a really good singer, but they're just probably being nice. Who knows?
No, but like you said, you take lessons and you learn. I have a good friend that she's here in my township, Christiana, and she had a waiting list. She's a voice teacher and a
Yeah,
piano teacher.
yeah.
There is a waiting list,
Yeah.
so there is a need for entertainment
Right.
in this world that we live in.
Oh, absolutely.
It just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Right?
But I consider myself a clarinet player.
Yes. Which
And
is so rare.
Yeah,
too.
when you think about it, that's why I think that person was an angel. Because me and my friend, we were two clarinet players. I'm like, well, where in the world would we ever find clients? Oh, and that's what she gave me that idea. Yeah. So, anyways, that's where and it worked. But now, today, I'm not in that duo any longer. I'm in a different one, and we're called the Joe and Jackie Show.
I love that.
And
I just saw it on your Instagram.
so Joe is actually super special to me. He is my duo partner. He's my probably love of my life. Did I say probably? He won't like that.
I love that.
We just
How'd you find each other?
well, I actually was booking him for a good year or so before we met.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
he plays
he plays accordion.
accordion.
He plays
Yes.
the accordion, and we started to do a couple gigs together because I had a different duo partner again, which I didn't mention, but he was having difficulty with health.
Oh.
So, I'd have a gig and I would need a replacement. So
Right.
Joe is who became my replacement. And eventually, he became my sole, what I do, my sole act.
Yes.
So one thing that he made me grow, and here's another thing where, you think, oh, I can never do this. But he told me, if you want to play with me, you can't play with music. And so basically I had to go and just like memorize the music,
Yes.
and I never did that in my life.
Right.
Not ever.
You mean you
not
didn't look
ever.
at sheet music?
Well, during the first duos that I had, yes, we sat there and we
With your sheet
we did
music,
music. Yeah. So now today I would think, oh my gosh, how awful that is, because I don't do that anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the first time I did it, I was so scared. I was so scared.
But nobody would know if you went off the wrong.
Well,
notes.
yeah, you could, but I
Joe would know.
Yeah, no, I was so scared that I actually forgot my instrument. I remember that, and I had to go back and get it. Like I was just like really super
Yes.
scared, but I did it, and so that's another one of those moments. It was a turning point.
Look how
you know.
many times you have taken a leap. You're like,
that was a turning point of playing for an audience with zero music. And so today, this is probably 8 years later that I've not even, ever looked at music for a long time. I feel so confident, like I can play, like, even if I don't even know the song, I could pick it up.
You can pick it up.
Yeah.
Wow, you have like the ear for it.
Yeah, so boy, that was just like really, like, so I thank you, Joe. Thank you for, pushing me and making me a better person, making me a better musician. Of course, I started singing. I never sang in the other ones as well. So, like,
think about it's like your path that you lead.
Yeah.
The people that are along the path with you, you learn. That's why I learned so much from so many people.
Yeah.
The biggest thing what I learned, Jackie, from doing a podcast is listening.
That's a hard one.
It's being a good listener.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, and I was not listening in my own life. My life was passing me by. I tell everybody I was like a bystander watching my life go by, not knowing what I was doing.
Right.
But to see women that are doing their passion, like I am
yeah.
so excited that you're like singing and you're playing it.
Yeah.
So you and Joe are still doing your thing.
So we do that.
So tell us about this.
Yeah, so we eventually ended up making a band as well. So we had both. And Joe,
like a drummer.
We added Bob DeCola. I'm going to say the names.
Yes.
This is good to get them out there.
Yes.
Bob DeCola is an amazing drummer in Pittsburgh. He's been a drummer all his life. He's with many, many bands, but we're happy we have him with our band as well.
Yes.
Our band is called the Pittsburgh Polkmeisters, and so we're a polka band. For our tuba player is Martin Thomas. He's also an amazing musician.
Tuba.
He writes music. Of course, you need that oompa in a polka band, and he's our steady oompa.
Yes.
And then, of course, Joe is our singer and our accordion player. He knows the songs. He's the one who, puts together all the lists, and he's taught us all these old songs. And the way he knows this, Joe's been playing since he's 5 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And he's played in his dad's polka band and dad's bands, and so this is in his blood, in his life. So and that's
Pittsburgh is known for polka.
They are.
Do you know? I worked at. I don't mean to interrupt you.
That's
I worked
okay.
at a radio station when I first got out of school. It was an AM station called Wixie 1360. It was in the Keysport, and it was country. And Jackie, so I went. I'm thinking I could do country, when I auditioned.
Yeah.
Well, I came back and they changed the format to sports.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know anything about sports. Anyway, I was reading from the newspaper, but I would work. I got like the night shift, I was like the new girl. And I worked Sundays, and there was polka.
Yeah.
And it was Sam Gagliano. No, he was, oh my gosh, Sam something. I can't think of his last name. He was so into polka.
Yeah.
And every Sunday he would come in after me. He'd do his polka, and I just love that.
Well, one of those full circle moments for me is that when I was a girl growing up, from little, I can remember walking into our house, and that was like in the back. You pull in, you go in, and you have my dad's office there, and then the basement, and he always had a polka station on, always. And I can just imagine, my dad is no longer with us, but how proud he would be to know that I'm in a polka band.
Oh, yeah.
You
don't think those signs of like the angels that were telling
definitely.
them? Oh, yeah, they were
Oh,
telling them.
definitely.
Yeah,
Oh, definitely.
do it, girl.
So, yeah. So
the Pittsburgh Polkmeisters, that
Yeah.
was established in
we're probably 6 years old.
6 years old?
Maybe
Okay.
about 6 years old or so. And
where do you guys play?
We play every weekend and then some in evenings at retirement communities for Oktoberfest.
Okay.
Oktoberfest, if you don't know, is actually 2 months long. So I can never take vacations between September and the end of October because that's our season. That's our season.
Yeah.
And we have a ball. But one thing I would love to share with everyone is that first of all, the NFL draft is coming to Pittsburgh. So, of course, that's a big news for, everybody in our city.
We are so fortunate to have this. I'm like so excited about it.
Yeah. So it's just going to be an amazing, boost to our economy and just hopefully, the whole world, we're going to be on stage.
Yay!
So I applied actually with my company, Sound Advice Entertainment, to be an entertainment vendor for the draft.
Yes.
And very excitedly, I was chosen. So I don't know if you do that or not.
I didn't know that, no.
So they told us, after we were chosen, there was a meeting and they said, you should be very proud if you're sitting in this room right now. We had about 1,800 applicants and they chose 161 companies.
Wow.
So
161 companies?
that's what they said. So my name and my company name and so forth is in the NFL draft directory. So like coaches and players and families,
It'll be in the program.
they're in the directory.
Where are you going to be set up?
So that's not exactly what that means. What that means is, so like when someone's having a party, they can call me and say, hey, I see that you're in the directory. I need a band, or I want a strolling magician to come. Yeah. So that I'm in there. So that's exciting. But I decided, Joe and I, we decided, you know what, we have a polka band here. We really should try to make a original song for the draft coming to town.
Yay.
And so Joe spent 24 hours, and before you knew it, he had the song.
He's that good.
Yeah, he's very good. He's
I love it. It's
yeah.
so good.
So we not only do we have the song, but we also have a video, professional made video.
I saw the video on Instagram.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're so excited, and we're actually invited to perform it live, and they're going to interview us on This Friday is that the 17th?
Yeah. So
April
this'll air
17th.
Right after, yeah.
Yeah.
Will be going. So maybe, hopefully people will, see
Right.
it.
So we're hoping, the people like the video. And
Yes.
so forth.
I'm going to make Jackie sing it right now.
Ah!
Wait, give us a little of the beat.
All right, the NFL draft is finally coming here. It's on its way to Pittsburgh, PA. Millions of people can't wait to see who their number one pick will be. And that's all I'm going to sing right now.
That's a teaser.
That's a teaser.
You're going to have to go. Now, where can people find you? The people listening right now.
Sure. Okay, so I have many places. Okay.
You're like, let me.
There we go. Well, Facebook, you can find me under Sound Advice Entertainment.
Okay.
I also have a website, soundadviceentertainment.com.
Okay.
I have, for the duo on Facebook, you can look us up under The Joe and Jackie Show. I also have a Facebook page called The Pittsburgh Polkmeisters. That's where you could see the video.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't tell you this part, but I also even have a Facebook page called Yoga with Jackie.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, during COVID, of course, no one's hiring entertainment, so I became a yoga instructor. I enjoyed that, but I still...
You could do it online.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I did 6 classes a week online, I taught.
Oh my gosh. See, you to me look like you're just so creative, Jackie. Like, you don't let anything stop you, which is so great. And yeah, we have those moments, when we're trying to do something new and step into that unknown. But you did it. You're doing so well. I know the next time I see her, she'll be like, oh, and also I have this and this, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I can't keep up.
Oh, thank you.
You are such an inspiration to me.
Thank you.
To
Thank
see
you
that
so
your
much.
passion is being seen, throughout, and being in our area in Pittsburgh. Don't you feel like people are just so nice?
They are.
And so,
they are. And it's a very small, tight-knit community I've found.
Right.
I am a part of many groups. I'm probably on upward of 15 groups that I'm actually a member of the groups.
Yes.
And I try to get to as many things as I possibly can. But it is amazing how small, that we are connected in so many ways.
Yes.
And
It's
it's amazing.
It just makes me think to myself, like, there are so many people out there, and I'm nationwide, but I really concentrate on my Pittsburgh people because there's so many people here right now that I'm still interviewing and getting to know.
Yeah.
I've had other people from other states on. We do Zoom, but I love the in-person
That's
thing.
awesome.
To me, that
Yeah.
you feed off of each other,
Yeah.
and I'm just so excited for you.
Oh,
I'm going to have to come to
you.
one of your shows and watch your band.
Yeah. Well, the next one, you'll have to be a guest of mine. There's a lot of things that we do that are private.
Okay.
Yeah. But we do have, the occasional, especially during Oktoberfest.
Yes.
You can
if you are, just let me know. I can put that on. I can share it on my
Awesome.
page and let people know. But
But this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you, Jackie.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you're Jackie D and I'm Jenny D.
That's it. Yeah.
We can have our own band.
That's right.
I can't play
Hey,
an
you
instrument.
sing. You sing. I'll play the clarinet.
Love you, darling.
I love that.
Hello. I used to be
Yeah.
a soprano back in school, and then I totally lost all that. But
Really?
my daughter's a singer now. She actually did my theme song for my Midlife Mondays, the Hot Flash Hour. She sang my theme song.
Oh, I want to get to know her when she comes back to Pittsburgh. Tell her I want to, get to know her a little bit. I could book her out.
She would sing polka. She would sing anything. She sings anything. But
nice.
I so appreciate your time. You're
Well,
so
thank
busy,
you.
and I thank you so much for being here and sharing your story.
You're welcome.
You know, I know there's probably other people out there that are listening, Jackie, that are so inspired by you.
Oh, thank you.
And I am just, you got to be so proud of yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit, that we look at our lives and we think, I need to do more. I should be doing this and this. But we just have to be satisfied with what we're doing, because as long as we can wake up every day and say, you know what, I love what I'm doing. You know?
Yes, I totally agree.
Don't you feel
Totally
like that?
agree. Yeah. And when you actually get on that trajectory,
Yes.
then you never want to get off of it.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Because, I always say this, I'm probably going to get a tattoo that says you only live once, because I always say to people, like, just go for it. You know,
what's the worst that can
What's the worst? So if
happen?
you fail, you fail, but at least you said you went for
Right.
it. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
Okay, everyone, go out there. We are
Yes.
rooting for you,
Yes.
especially if you're in a place where you're stuck right now. Don't stay there.
Absolutely.
Don't stay there.
I know, don't. And how about, let's go Steelers.
All right. Okay, Steelers.
NFL draft, here we
Yes,
go.
we do.
Thank you,
Well, thank you,
Jackie.
Jenny D.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
This was another episode of Spill With Me, Jenny D. Take care.
Come spill with me. Come spill with me.